coming in at 777. Cool. And we're here today with Kittie, who is here at Aftershock on day 3, 2025. You have already played, correct? How did that go for you? And have you played Aftershock before? I don't think so.
We've never played Aftershock before. It was fucking incredible. Honestly, the festival's been awesome all around. And the crowd today was spectacular. They were just off the chain, yeah.
They're super into it.
They were very into it, yeah.
Oh my God, so on trend with the new 90s. I mean, all the 90s coming into the forefront. All the bands are making reunions again and doing albums again, and it's so off the chain. I love it. I was going to ask, I don't know if everybody wants to answer. It's kind of a loaded question. I always like to ask, what made you play guitar? Be the person that you are today. What made you want to get behind the drums, or pick up a bass guitar, sing, or did you even start with that?
Well, Mercedes and I are related, so we're sisters, so we grew up in the same household. We started with like piano lessons and stuff like that, and then I think we sort of, I don't know, we moved from where our childhood city where we grew up to a different place, and then the darkness took over, and then I just wanted to like channel anger, I guess. And of course, being a teenager as well, there's always that teenage angst that's sort of involved in it, and it just made sense to pick up a guitar and the vocals for me, like the screaming and everything, came later, but it was kind of like nobody wanted to be the singer, and I just thought that I was mad enough to do it, not that I had
your anger.
That I had the ability, but I was like, I think I'm mad enough to be able to scream in a band, and the rest is history.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Good. So you two, growing up in the same household, was it your parents did your parents listen to music and have records?
So, yeah, like my mom and dad were like super Van Halen fans. They were big Kiss fans. So we spent a lot of time, listening to, when we were very young, listening to those types of bands. Very obviously like the guitar-driven music from the 70s, which is fantastic. But then obviously, like when Morgan and I got a little older, we kind of decided, well, we probably should be listening to our own music. What's young and cool? So, we started to get into like a lot more like grunge, because that was the era, like in the 90s. And then, and then we started and then we moved into, metal, which...
When you crossed over?
Yes, we crossed over to the dark side.
Some more darkness
Yeah.
brewing. More darkness.
Yeah.
More darkness. Go into the dark side. Yeah, the orbs of metal and darkness. Now, are you related as well? No, just you two. Yes. Oh,
I mean, they look like they could be related.
You guys all do. What about you? Are you from a household of music and forced piano lessons?
No, I mean, I always loved music. I also played piano when I was little, and then I actually played viola in like middle school, and similar teenage years, kind of like started hanging out with some people who play in metal bands, and I started really liking metal. And then there was a band that had a bassist who, like, his mom wouldn't let him play shows. She was like, she's like, you can't go to bars, that's dangerous. And so they asked me if I would come and play, and I didn't know how to play bass at the time, but they just taught me a few songs, and I used his bass. He wasn't allowed to go play, but he let me use his bass.
Let you use his stuff too. So you were taking his bass with his instrument.
His show with his band, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So I thank him for that. Nikita, he's a Russian guy. And
shout out to Nikita. Shout out.
And Adrian, who put the bass in my hands, and but
Adrian,
for sure. And then I fell in love with like the vibe of the live shows, the energy. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's like I loved death metal, seeing it live. I mean, I listening to it on sometimes is a little much, but seeing it live, there's nothing like it. It's amazing.
I feel like that's really consistent with all of metal. Is like it's really hard to introduce an outsider to metal on a record, right? Like I always feel like. I always try and tell people, like, go to a live show. You have to feel the energy. You have to hear the music amongst others and see how, like, because I know a lot of people are like, the pit is so scary. And it's like, No, everybody's really actually like taking care of each other and everything, and it's not something you can understand until you experience it for yourself and witness it.
Yeah, I mean, I notice now even people that aren't into this kind of music are now coming and experiencing because they want to crowd surf. That's like a thing that they want to do. They want to do that.
It's like
And
the youth are really into crowd.
yeah, they're into all that.
Not broken yet.
No, not yet. They're all young, but I mean, even people in wheelchairs, and I mean, just blind. There's this one blind dude around Sacramento area, and he's always at the shows. All it's so great. I love it. I it's amazing. And you know, we were talking with another guy earlier about music uniting everybody together, and you know, like how do you feel about that with you guys all together? Is it working out? I mean, this lineup, how long has this been? 'Cause I know you guys were on a hiatus.
Yeah, 20 years. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it feels great. It feels getting back together after such a long time felt just really natural, and everything sort of slowly snowballed into, you know, what it's become today. I don't know. I think our vibe is great. We enjoy each other's company. We have a good time, and I mean, you can feel that when on stage when we play. I think there's a lot. It's funny because like I have had a lot of people, you know, come up to us and say, "Oh, you guys look like you're having such a good time. Like you're smiling at each other." And they're like, "I know metal's supposed to be very serious, but it's hard to not just like." Yeah, like just like give off that you're having a great time.
Well, you know, metal is lightening up, and now that people are finding out that it's not so scary, and crowd surfing, all those people that are kind of coming in, they're finding out that metal is not so as scary as they think. So, what is Kittie going to be doing next? I know everybody's probably asked you that today, and it's kind of a generic question, but curious after 20 years if there's going to be new music. I know that you had something, 2024 last year. So anything?
Yeah, I mean, there was the album that came out last year. We obviously just released the Spit re-records, so we're just kind of writing on that right now. There's a couple shows booked for next year. Yeah, there's a couple things in the works, but nothing crazy. Like this is our last show of 2025, so we're gonna go home and chill for a while. And
Nice.
yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and talking to me here at Women in the Pit 777, and I love that supporting women and women supporting each other, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay! Round of applause.